step into the haunted halls of Spooky School. Each week, we take the fearless Jimmy on a journey through uncharted horror territory as we introduce him to spine-tingling movies he's never seen before. Beware, dear listeners, for the chilling tales we unravel may leave you sleeping with the lights on. Here are your hosts, Professor Spooky and Jimmy.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Jimmy, you do it. Take it away.
Spooky School!
Spooky School! We've missed you. I missed you. I missed Jimmy. But most importantly, I missed you.
Most importantly, I missed you, and then only half importantly, I missed everyone else. That's it. But it's only because I hold you on a very, very high regard. Aww. And I know that's a rare thing for friendships nowadays, but unfortunately for you, you get my love.
You're not supposed to tell people how you actually feel about anything. You have to be super ironic about it all the time.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You want a hot take? Joe is part of Al Qaeda, and then
you're not supposed to let anybody know.
Yeah.
I might as well be hiding Osama the way I tally these bands.
Tally these bands. You thought it was a group of 14 people. Turns out you missed one.
And you'll never get me SEAL Team 6.
No.
Show up at my door and see what happens.
Yeah. Isn't SEAL Team 6 disbanded? I'm going to Google that.
I hope so, because I just talk shit about them.
Yeah. They now. SEAL Team 6 was disbanded. Well, that doesn't make sense. It said SEAL Team 6 was disbanded in 1987. Are we living in the Truman Show right now?
Probably.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, I have a feeling there's more than one SEAL team, so we're...
That's probably true, but when I Googled SEAL Team 6, there should only be one that's the one. You know what I mean?
I just want to retract my statement, and I just want to say thank God for the troops.
Absolutely.
And please don't bust down my door and shoot me in the head.
No. I would not like either of those, because I also support the troops. They are the ones dumb enough to sign... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was going to say nothing bad. It's just a joke. Trust me, you guys are bigger,
not like
greater
anything
people than
you're
me.
going to say is as worse as what Trump said, and he actually meant it, so...
That's true. I didn't catch what he said. What did a big old Mango Mussolini say nowadays?
I'd have to look up the direct quote, but he basically said that anybody who fights in a war and either gets wounded or killed is an idiot. I remember what he said about John McCain, about how he's I don't care about I care about the guys who didn't get captured. And it's okay, cool, pal.
Yeah, dude, no kidding. Mr. Oh God, yeah. That hot take. Isn't that guy kind of annoying?
A little bit.
just a tad mentally ill, you know? Although he is going through a lot of defamation lawsuits right now, so we probably shouldn't test his knowledge on what is or isn't defamation.
Well, he's the one getting sued. He's not suing anybody for defamation, so we got that going for us.
That's fair. At the very least, no one is suing us, or we've never sued anyone for defamation, but low-key...
Not yet.
Yeah, low-key would like to. The next time two white guys start a podcast and talk about horror movies, you're gonna...
They're going to fucking jail on that one. That is our turf.
Yeah. You have no idea, all right? All right.
Jimmy, how have you been?
I've been really good. We're in the process of moving, so my house is covered in boxes. And we're not in the process of physically moving.
Are you going to Texas?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. So we do our road trip starts mid-March, and then we'll take about a week and a half to get down there, go see some people along the way, and then but
one of them, right?
Yeah. Well, you're one of those now. But we have a huge track record for putting everything off till the last second. And
hell yeah.
This is and this is our opportunity to be let's start packing everything now, and then hopefully we'll get around to it. And by we started packing, it is my wife started packing. I let her pack, so that's it.
Way to be a useful husband, Jimmy.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding, but only kind of. But yeah, no. So Things have been good, man. Things have been good. I excited for the change in the air because this weather is disgusting. So,
It is
how
a
about
fresh
you?
new start.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm great. Major announcement is that I'm going to be tabling at this year's Crypticon,
Woo!
which will be in May. And
Nice.
then, so not only am I going to be there, and you can buy stuff that I made off of me in person.
Really good stuff, by the way. I have a lot of your stuff, and none
Why,
of it
thank
is
you.
bad.
Oh, why? Thank you.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a bad track record when you only have 2 things out. So,
That's true. That's true. So,
unless they're 2 terrible things, but
yeah, you might as well quit while you're ahead and do speaking, just like Henry Rollins and Black Flag.
might as well.
Yeah, just do a handful of albums and be like, I'm not actually a punker anymore. I talk and I'm very strong. Like,
Well, speaking of speaking,
yeah.
I just got to confirm that I'm also going to be on a panel
Oh,
at Crypticon.
That's what's up, dude.
So making big moves. I get to talk in front of people. I will probably get banned and never allowed to talk there ever again.
Yeah.
But we'll find out.
No, only a little bit. So you won't get banned immediately, just like a few times.
What? Yeah, they'll forgive me after the first time. Invite me back. Realize what a mistake they made.
Yeah, make the same mistake again, and then carry on.
And then it'll be like he's not even banned from speaking engagements or being a guest. Like he can't even buy tickets online.
Yeah, they blocked his IP address from the website. They're like, no.
Send SEAL Team 6 after me.
Yeah,
They banned me from being alive.
that's really it. No, they're gonna cause you to unalive yourself. That's
Way to use the Zoomer lingo.
yeah.
I was just thinking about this a few days ago. Okay.
Yeah.
FCC regulations on TV make it to where you basically just can't say bad words. And if there is a bad word, they just bleep it out, right?
Yeah. Sounds right.
And that's how I grew up, right?
Yeah.
And that never really affected the way that I speak.
Not at all. Yeah.
I feel like the way that current censorship online is, right? Where the incentive is we don't really lay out the guidelines whatsoever, even though compared to the FCC, it's very clear what you can and can't say.
Mm-hmm.
The incentive is you want to avoid using all the words that might get you demonetized, which has created like a whole new vocabulary for us.
That's so
and
true.
I feel like that's straight up worse and more oppressive than the FCC.
For sure. It's manipulative as hell because then, I mean, yeah, there is a few words with obvious intentions that should be lessened upon because it's like, hey, no. But yeah, for the most part, it's just it's just not only silly, but also like holding the dollar over your head. Like this is like oh no, you have to act like this now, or else you don't get this thing. It's just like it's not just infuriating, but it's not to get on my Texas hat here, but that's close to tyranny. I tell you,
I would say it is tyranny.
Thank you. You know, it is super fucked up, and obvious.
Funny enough, you can't say fucked up on TV. You can't say fucked up on YouTube. No consequences.
Oh yeah.
But regardless of the context of any discussion, if you use the real term for unalived or sewer slide.
Yeah.
For that, you're just instantly not only like demonetized, but then your shit gets basically age gated and oppressed, and you might as well just delete that video at that point.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's crazy to see YouTubers that are just like metal guitar players. That's it. Metal guitar players that get put on these lists because of it's like their subject matter is never too intense, but it like they could seriously just like have a name of a metal song that they say and forget to like block something out, and then that drives their video like just down to the ground, which is, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I gotta be there for some censorship in the way of like, yeah, like. But also the censorship shouldn't be from the website. It should be from parents going, no, you can't use YouTube. You're fucking 9 years old. Like that's the thing that should actually be there. You know, it's like, weird correlation, but it's like everyone complaining about like the book bannings, which is bad. Banning books is always just an idiotic thing, but both sides of the political spectrum have banned books before for different reasons. And while I think that all should be out there, like it shouldn't be up to anyone to say what someone can or can't read. That's like a parent's job for the next kid coming up. And if that kid doesn't have the right parents to teach them the right things, then we should have all had this mentality anyways to go like, no, you can't say that character's name from this Mark Twain book. You can't yeah.
Are you saying it's up to the individual to make sure like what's right for them?
I might be revealing my libertarian card, that's for sure. But
you can't say things like that anymore. Oh my God.
I feel like we just got demonetized because I said libertarian.
I think I just got permabanned actually because you said that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, we're not going to fix it. So might as well continue to create the art and hopefully it rings with enough people to...
We don't need to fix it. We just need to complain about it a lot because then it just makes us feel better.
Oh, yeah. And then we can point that blame of our inner anger out somewhere.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. That's
with
why.
a golf club to a car in the street.
Yeah. That's why I have a dartboard with Hillary Clinton's face on it. It's fine.
Did you see her tweet about the fucking Barbie movie?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh my God.
If I could go back in time and prevent myself from voting for her.
Yeah. Dude,
just for that.
Just for the tweet alone, dude. I mean, like, I mean, like, on one hand, it's hilarious because, like, she's trying to stay in somewhat relevancy and, like, speaking about something that, like, is close to her own matters, but also it's just like, dog, you're a politician lady who's corrupt as hell in her 80s. Like, can you just stay out of everything? Like, stay in your dark castle on the hill that's always cloudy, okay?
Well, her being 80 now makes her more than qualified for being president, so.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. The more senile, the better.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Shit, I can't wait till I get old and then they just hand me a country.
Here's the launch codes. Don't tell anybody that the aliens are real.
Yeah. Keep it all down. Say it's just military operations. Not our military, but...
I kind of want to be on the fly on the wall during the Trump administration, right? They either had handlers and just did not tell him anything, or unfortunately, all of our favorite conspiracy theories are wrong. Because if that dude knew about aliens, he would bring it up unprompted during one of the first interviews. Mr. Trump, how do you respond to your actions regarding this? There's fucking aliens, bro. Everything I do matters.
You're right, and that is low-key heartbreaking because...
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I want the aliens to be in my number one spot, but if he was actually told... He would have spilled it for sure. I bet you it's the handlers,
I choose to believe just nobody told him about it.
It has to be, right? Because, like, I bet you... I mean, he was so busy watching Fox and tweeting, like, all day anyways, that it's like...
a good president should, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's a deeper conspiracy angle of just like what presidents actually do. But like, it kind of proves that like, you could do whatever, but everything behind the scene kind of just keeps flowing, keeps moving. So like, I guarantee you, he was just a placeholder for other people to go like, all right, and we're going here. Like, I mean, if Trump couldn't get the wall built when it was trying to be built in all of the most fucking Republican states, then. No, something else is behind the corner.
I'm going to push back on you on that a little bit because for reasons that are a little bit too complicated to go into on a movie podcast, that is the main reason why he didn't get that wall built.
Oh, yeah?
If it was all Republicans in charge and if it was all Republicans that were in the Senate and in the House and all that shit, then there definitely would be a wall. However, we have these weird things called checks and balances to make sure that we don't have unhinged, senile old men just want to build walls for no fucking reason.
No.
On our border.
No.
That is the super simplified version of that.
That's totally fair, yeah, because it's not like it's like the one red president goes in and everyone else is red, because, we have a blue president in there and not everything else is blue for sure. Like,
Nope.
no. But, it's all right, because this podcast is escapism from reality, and you know what's a lot better than reality?
I fucking hate reality.
Yeah, it's not great.
I have seen so many good movies lately. I want to just briefly discuss those, and then we'll get into the actual topic today, okay?
Uh-huh.
Have you seen Poor Things yet?
No.
Emma Stone.
Oh, yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to see it.
Shit, yeah, all right. Yeah, it was recommended on a couple of the like Instagram feeds that I scroll through sometimes. So I hear it's awesome.
I was not ready for how much I liked it.
Really?
Because all I knew about the movie going into it was that it was Emma Stone. I saw like some very brief clips of it online, and it kind of just looked production quality wise like when Tim Burton was really starting to phone stuff in.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I love Emma Stone. I'll see something weird with her in it. Why not?
Right.
I had no idea William Dafoe was in it.
Oh,
and I had no
Willem.
idea William Dafoe played a fucking freak.
Oh, I love Willem.
So as soon as I saw that, I just jumped out of my chair and went, no way, he's just like me for real.
Yeah. Dude, that gets me really excited, because literally anything he's in, I'm gonna love just for his parts in it. That's it. And so I didn't realize he was in it either, but or at least had a big enough part. But yeah, no, I'll definitely check that out. Is it still in theaters?
You have to see it. I'm pretty sure it's still in theaters. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but it's still on my mind because it just got Oscar snubbed and Oscar stubbed and Oscar snubbed.
Yeah, Skinamarink should have gotten Best Picture. I agree.
Yeah. Right. No. But another thing up childhood alley of yours is the Iron Claw movie.
Yeah, I saw it. It was very fucking depressing.
Super sad, dude. Super sad.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was great, but goddamn, was it a tearjerker? I mean, like, so I went to go see it with my brother, who's a big wrestling fan, and then both of our ladies. And it was so funny that, like, afterwards, like, I overheard our ladies talking to each other, be like, wait, did yours cry? Yeah, did yours cry? Yeah, of course, he was bawling. I was like, and then afterwards, we went out to this cool little Japanese spot just to kind of, like, be like, what the fuck? And then, but yeah, I've been obsessed with that story ever since. I thought it was really
Iron
fucking
Claw
good.
is Barbie for men, which is finally something that we needed, you know?
Absolutely. And just like Barbie, completely snubbed in the award seasons.
Ryan Gosling got his much deserved Best Actor nomination, so that's all that matters, right?
Well, he is Knuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I want to quote that Hillary tweet.
It was so bad.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
I dug Iron Claw a lot. It was so fucking good. And just depressing. I'm actually like a little shocked that the dad from that movie didn't get some sort of like best supporting actor nomination.
Absolutely,
because he's such an asshole the whole time. What the fuck's his problem?
And so not only was he wildly believable and just like an insane story, but if you look at they played at the end credits the actual dad, and it looks exactly like which. Sure, that's not why people get Oscars, but with a performance that good, that's got to be at least akin in the same thing to be like, oh yeah, this dude not only acted great, but the Lord gave him the exact same fucking body. Like.
Now here is my not so scorching hot take. I if you're somebody out there who still takes the Oscars really seriously, I think you have silly goose syndrome.
Dude, yeah. That's 100% true with like any awards out there. It's just why even care about it? Like I understand that like the validation is a good thing, but after a certain after a certain level, it's like cool, you get this little So not only for someone that's in the movie or music world to care about any of the awards is one thing, but the people that are not in either of those worlds to care about the awards too is also a crazy thing too. Because I understand that back in the day, like especially the Grammys, you know, they have all these crazy performances, but lately it's just absolutely stunk. And same with any of the award, especially them kicking off like comedians to host and everything, or like just not allowing comedians to like be able to really just razz on him because it's a silly thing, but like they can't even do that anymore. They just take themselves
without
so seriously.
getting the shit beaten out of them. Yeah.
Yeah, right. We tried that, and then someone had to get sent back to Bel Air.
Oh my God, that was insane. You brought up the Grammys. That was the very first award I ever just truly gave up on.
Yeah, the Gramophone Awards.
Yeah, well, because like there's so much music that gets released every single year. There's no way to properly keep track of it and award albums out there for their quality.
No.
Like it really is just like, hey, you sold a lot of music this year. Here, have a little trophy.
That's exactly it. Like nothing is talent based anymore, I don't think, because like every single year, if you just look at the metal and rock things, it's normally the same bands for like 5-year span of time or longer, and it's just like it literally is just like, oh yeah, Metallica released a record, it's gonna be up for a Grammy, which I don't know if it was or wasn't, but I would assume
Rolling Stone named Metallica's newest album the best metal album of last year.
Dude, that's just
and
hilarious.
Do you know who won the very first best metal album Grammy?
Who's that?
I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking with you. Heart to heart, man to man, I'm telling you the truth, okay?
Yeah.
The very first Grammy for best metal song, I think, because they didn't do album, they just did a song.
Okay.
Was to Jethro Tull.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's the band with the flute in it.
Yes. Metallica lost to them.
God damn it. Yeah, I mean, it just shows how fucking out of date they always have been, you know? I mean, incredible honor and there's still cool people that win Grammys. Like, I really like Jason Isbell. He just won this year. That's fucking tight. But,
shout out Jason.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's just silly. Oh, well, especially now with the state of art and everything, like, changing the way that it's changing. I do think stuff like that. I mean, like 20, 30 years from now, there's no way that it's maybe even going to be televised. It's probably just going to be streaming on a website. And the award for
best AI prompt to make this piece of shit movie goes to.
Yeah. I mean, or they'll just come out and fucking say it. Be like, the movie that made the most money this year is. And then,
well, again, trying to base this in reality. I've never felt that way about the Oscars, where they're just awarding the movie that made the most, right?
Uh-huh.
But tying it back to what I said a little bit about the Grammys, there's so much movies that come out every year, and there's so many movies that we don't hear about that come out every year, right?
Yeah.
And so it really is an award system really is like just an award ceremony for the studio system. But there's no real celebration for anything independent that gets made, or anything that really tries to push the boundary or come out with anything that's pretty groundbreaking, right?
Yeah.
My favorite movie from, I forget what year, but have you ever heard of the movie Sorry to Bother You?
It sounds familiar. Let me look that up.
It is by far the best movie that came out that year and did not get a single Oscar nomination.
Damn, okay.
And that's when I started to really sour on them, right?
93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It is so fucking funny and says a lot. And like everything that we're really trying to push now in terms of like diversity, in terms of having a voice that we want to use or have like utilize a message behind what it is, right? Mm-hmm. That movie was the fucking forefront. It did it before it was cool. It's a hipster like that, right?
Hell yeah. Uh-huh.
It was really funny, said a lot, was very interesting. Reminds me a little, I don't want to go that far in saying that it reminds me a little bit of Everything Everywhere at Once, but it was very stylized the same way that movie was, right?
Okay, yeah.
Not a fucking peep. Nothing.
Goddamn infuriating, dude. I think there's only one way around it. and that's to do a guerrillas grounds up movement, and we need to start our own movie awards and have people care about it more than the Oscars themselves. But that also means that we have to watch every movie every year, so that's going to be a lot.
No, we don't. We have to watch every horror movie every year.
All right, that's fair, yeah.
And reward those, because there's also a long history of the Oscars snubbing every single horror film that deserves some sort of Oscar.
Right.
Maya Goth
yeah.
deserved a fucking nomination for her performance in Pearl.
Oh, yeah.
On the merit that she's Maya Goth.
Yeah.
That's it, right? But other than that, she also did an amazing job in that movie. But again, her performance got snubbed because she was in a horror movie. Same with Hereditary. That should have gotten an Oscar nomination for Best Picture. That should have gotten an Oscar nomination for Best Screenplay. I forget the actress's name off the top of my head, but her performance was the best thing that I had seen that entire fucking year and should have at least gotten a nomination for it. But because it's a horror film, it's less than. We don't like those.
Dude, 100. They're not even stoked on comedies. Like, comedies doesn't really have its own. Because isn't it like musical and comedy or are in the same category still?
Probably.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's just crazy because I mean, you can make an argument for like, yeah, you're doing it for the art and you're making a movie in these like templates, but it's also like, yeah. So what, like, your average comedy movie is not going to be as cool as The fucking Godfather, but that doesn't matter because people will watch it more than The Godfather. Like,
that's true. Name the last comedy that you felt like had major cultural significance.
Well, that's fair, but then name the last Oscar movie that was held out longer than just the year, because it's like, I mean, I guess I'll give Oppenheimer this year, but I can't remember what last year's was.
I'd have to look into what last year's was. Parasite is one of my favorite movies ever. That deserved the win. Got it.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Avatar 2. That deserves. That is a timeless classic that absolutely nobody will ever forget. Same with the first Avatar.
Oh, yeah, and it's really, really smart making them out every 9 years so we forget that they're recycling the plot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, yeah, I totally forgot about A New Hope. Let's check out this new Star Wars movie.
But, like, I can think of a few, like, classic comedies from, like, the 80s and the 70s that, like, were culturally significant. We would quote them all the fucking time, be very annoying about it, right?
Yeah, I suppose it's been about 10 years since like Anchorman, Superbad, and like Step Brothers, like that kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, so recently, yeah, I couldn't tell you within the last like for sure since Covey Wovey.
And like, name a comedy movie you saw a preview for, and you were like, I have to see that in a theater.
Renfield. That was the last one that I watched, but
All
that's
right.
It's also horror.
I think you were the only one that saw that in the theater.
I was, yeah, I was. It was my wife and I on a Thursday, and it was playing with Mario, and we got stuck behind all these kids seeing Mario, and we're just like, hey, we're not trying to see this hunk of shit. Can we go ahead and see our hunk of shit? Like.
And then, God, like, name the last time you saw a preview for a comedy movie, and you didn't immediately want to commit slip and slide.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that is rough because, especially as of late, it has to have like another tinge to it. Like it has to have an element of mystery. It has to have an element of action or an element of horror, like Renfield or something. Like nothing that's just straight up like meant to be a comedy is really. And now,
or the ones that are trying to be just straight comedy look so terrible. Did you see previews for that fucking Will Ferrell, Kevin Hart movie where they all play dogs?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean,
I am convinced that is a tax write-off, or like Will Ferrell just wanted another house.
Yeah.
And he's like,
it's gotta be.
Oh yeah, I can just like call or I can phone this in so easily and just record this in my voiceover booth in my first home.
Exactly. That's a fucking a week of work in a booth, man. And not even a week, man. You can like, that's just
especially if you do everything in one take, which is probably what happened during that movie.
Yeah. No, especially that one definitely felt like a write-off. And speaking about write-offs, do you know anything about or do you know anything or have an opinion on the stuff coming out of Warner Brothers and like how they're just making some movies and just writing it off, like. If you know anything about it, you can probably say it better.
I cannot legally state how I feel about the head of Warner Brothers right now without some sort of not even lawsuit, but like making threats online. I will just say if David Zaslav ended up in a car accident and passed away, it would not be that unfortunate. It would be for the better of the entertainment industry as a whole.
God damn, that's a hot take.
I hate that piece of shit so fucking much.
Yeah. Because I only got a slight glance and half-ass read like an article or two about the Wile E. Coyote movie and what happened with Batgirl and like all that stuff. But it just seems like it's fucking slightly immoral. I might even go ahead and say.
What? Hollywood execs doing immoral stuff? No way.
Yeah,
what?
Right. And guess what? The fucking Earth is flat. Like, you know.
I mean, yeah, it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why. No sarcasm.
Exactly. And go ahead and leave a comment there, Globehead. I've heard your arguments before, so go ahead and try me.
Yeah, fucking start walking. You're gonna hit it. Like
you're gonna hit it.
Yeah. You go take a boat. I promise. Like.
What were we talking about?
Warner Brothers and how much
Warner
they suck.
Brothers, yes. Ever since they bought, no, it was Discovery that bought Warner Brothers, and things just went fucking downhill from there completely.
Crazy that Discovery had enough money to buy.
They fucking didn't. They took on so much debt that the comparison was a snake basically trying to eat a boulder.
Damn. Okay.
So for no fucking reason, David Zaslav is like, what if I just ruined Warner Brothers and then just took on so much debt that he was able to acquire the studio? And then the signs were like on the wall immediately when he's like, we need to take Discovery Plus, which is just basically just the most slop of horrible dog shit slop TV shows.
Yeah.
And combine it with HBO Max, which was one of the like emerging streaming platforms where people were like, hey, this actually gets it right. And it feels like a viable competitor to Netflix for the first time in forever.
Absolutely.
And
because it had no
Zaslav
fucking
sees
ads.
that and he goes, you know what would be great? What if I just ruined it? What if I take every horrible dog shit reality show that's on Discovery Plus, throw it on HBO Max, and you know what? That whole HBO part, there's no brand recognition in that. That doesn't scream quality to anybody, right? They only made Game of Thrones, which is the most fucking like popular television show of all fucking time.
Oh yeah,
and the Sopranos.
The fucking Sopranos, and you know the 30 years of building up comedy TV and movies in like being a household name for. Oh, you have HBO, now I can watch the cool shit like Die Hard.
What if we just get rid of that? Just call it Max, and we just throw on whatever.
Yeah,
I hate that guy specifically since he like made a point to remove anything that was even slightly like LGBTQ coded. Which means like the first thing that happened was he just gutted the animation departments and just like took shows like animated shows off of Max for no fucking reason.
Jesus, yeah.
And then because we live in this wonderful future where the convenience that you demanded is now mandatory, we don't have any fucking physical media for these things. So these shows that like were on these streaming services, unless somebody made a recording and throw those on a piracy website, there's no fucking backups for those. You can't watch those anymore.
Oh, that's fucking disgusting. Are you kidding me?
So imagine, I saw this like heartbreaking tweet. It was a creator of a show. I forget which show it was. But it was a creator of one of the animated shows that got removed from Max. And like the tweet just said, I made this for my kid. And now we can't watch it.
Dude. That really is heartbreaking. That is. And you know what? I'm never going to feel judged for any motherfuckers ever again, because one of the things that I've been packing lately is my fucking DVD and Blu-ray collection of like 1,500 items. So I got all that hard copy shit, and people always make fun of me. They're like, "Dude, everything's online," and it's like, well, I have enough
for now.
Yeah, I have enough here to where like I can cancel subscriptions and like save all that money for fucking years before watching what I have. But also like, dude, how cool is it gonna be like 15, 20 years down the line where like there's a fucking smaller Jimmy going like, Dad, what the fuck is Z-Rock? And it's like, oh, it's this obscure TV show that you're not old enough to watch yet, but really cool that you brought it up because
don't
it's
tell
not
your
anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, right? Like, yeah, dude, it's exciting, man. But yeah, that is just evil, especially to have any type of like I don't know. Media is close enough to free anyways that like why they didn't just put that on a fucking YouTube channel to get YouTube money is beyond me.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Right. Yeah.
This isn't shows. This is slop. And yet, like, I paid attention a lot, too, to, like, the writer's strike and the actor's strike. And the people who are in charge of these studios actively despise the media they're helping to create and despise the people that are making it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They want to replace them with robots. They want to replace everybody with, like, the cheapest, easiest way to do it possible, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't give a fuck about any of the stuff that's actually getting produced or put on there. They just want to have it so that way they can get more people to buy in.
Right. And that is fucking disgusting, dude, because you are right. I mean, like, it's you saw it a little bit in the writer's strike, and I'm not versed enough at all to have like a goated opinion of anything involving the writer's strike, but like hearing anything about the AI probabilities and stealing scripts and all that stuff is just like, yeah, this is like, even if all these movies fucking suck, like I'd rather watch these shitty movies knowing that a real person put this the way that it is rather than, oh cool, yeah, a fucking script bot wrote it. Like, no, I'm not gonna stick around and watch that. Are you kidding me?
It was, I forget who said this, but it was a quote that really stuck with me of, why would I bother reading something that nobody bothered to write?
Oh,
when it comes
like
to
that.
AI. And that's it's so true, right?
Yeah.
And then you bring up like, oh, even if it's bad, it's still by a human. 9 times out of 10, when you're watching a really bad movie, it started off as a pretty good script, and then some stupid executive who has to justify his job goes, wait a sec, what if we do this instead?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who is a guy who might as well have never even seen a movie in his entire life.
Yeah. Definitely not qualified for it.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
But yeah, the whole landscape is changing, and it feels like it's just getting worse and worse every single day.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's already a crapshoot for like trying to still trying to build a music career, which, by the way, youtube.com Jimmy Nairn or Barking Catfish for all of your rock and roll needs, instagram.com/Jimmy Nairn. But
link in the description.
Link in descript. All right. But yeah, just trying to break into like any type of, not even notoriety as the right word, but I guess it would be just to be like, look what I can do and make these songs, and like already pouring into it, like building this awesome home demo studio myself and pouring all the money into it, fully knowing that the end product I'm going to put for essentially free out for people. Like it is crazy, and I'm not saying that they should like pay me for it, and I'm not like Bandcamp's obviously a thing, and this is just like how people already can get this awesome media, but I just fear that I just fear that this will lessen the value of already good media, and just, you know, it only takes a couple generations of people to completely ride out the old ways, you know, and while that's okay, you know, because we'll be written out, we'll be long dead, and that's fine with us anyways, but still, it's like, it does make me scared when it's like, oh, is no one going to take the time to learn the craft of an instrument anymore, because they'll just be samples of everything, that everything can be lined up on a piano roll, and then is no one going to learn the craft of audio engineering anymore, because everything is so AI simplified. You could just be like, okay, yeah, this is a kick, but I want this kick from this Gojira album sound, and then have it just pop up for you right there. And so now you're not learning your craft, you're not learning the craft of the instrument, you're not learning the craft of the mixing or engineering, and now you're just twiddling faders, making like this easy fucking song that you can just whip out, which I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's the same, but whatever.
Bro, I don't need to put in work or effort. I just have an idea.
Right.
And I type in the idea into my little chatbot prompt, and then the idea makes itself. Bro, this is so
good. What if Mastodon and Madonna wrote a song? Boom, this is my new musical genre. It's called Mastodona.
I can't even fucking count the amount of people who have like hit me up being like, hey man, I heard you're a writer and like I have this idea for a screenplay and like what if like you wrote it but it's like my idea so I'll like take credit for it, right? But we could like split the profits, bro.
Oh geez, yeah.
Instant block anytime you pull that shit on me.
Something that happens that's akin to the music world is like someone will like play a riff and it's like, yo, that's a cool riff, and then like, don't get me wrong, it's way less of a dig because like 20-30% of the time you listen to that riff and you're like, oh, you're not going to do anything with it? I might actually put this to something someday. But a majority of the time when someone shows you something, they're like, yeah, you know, you could do something. I'm just like, no.
Nah.
I won't.
Pass.
No. It's the difference between finishing a half-blown idea and something that's actually like, oh, okay, this is talent. But, you know, I hope that you find that in your script writing, too. Someone comes up to you with the best zombie movie you've ever fucking heard of, and you're just like, all right, here you go. Here's a zombie where the girl fucks the guy instead.
Yeah, what if instead of eating, they just start banging?
There's plenty of those movies out there.
Just one in particular that I can think of.
Eating instead of banging?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just one series.
You're listening to the Spooky School Podcast. Be sure to leave the video a like, as it really helps out the channel. Subscribe for weekly podcasts delivered to your inbox every Friday. Now let's get back to the show.
I like went to film school. I idolized all the directors from like the 70s who had like a vision and they brought it to life and they were able to make things happen and do it this way. The like underground indie movements that were also in the same vein. Stuff like George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead is a great example of that because it was a group of people that wanted to make something cool and stake their claim in the world, where the industry now just feels like it has become so zombified that it's not even recognizable at this point. And speaking of zombies, Jimmy, we watched a great movie called Deadgirl.
Yeah.
And rewatching it for the first time in like 10 years, I have some pretty mixed feelings about this movie, actually.
Okay, so let me tell you something.
Tell me everything.
I had maybe the worst time prepping for this podcast I've ever had watching watching this movie, and it's only half your fault. It's half my fault. It's only half your fault, and that is there's Deadgirl, which is the movie we're talking about. There's also a movie called The Deadgirl. Did you watch The Deadgirl and you didn't actually watch Deadgirl? I watched The Deadgirl, and it happened to be one of the fucking saddest, slowest, fucking dark, slow burns, and then being like, oh, I don't think that was the right movie because no one fucked a zombie. And then having to go over and watch Deadgirl and then sit with that and then just go, so what comedies are we watching next, man? I mean, to be fair, that movie started to get funny in the sense of like you just had to be so sadistic of just like what the fuck is going on that like you just kind of had to laugh. But yeah, so that's the backstory of my wicked day, and that was right. That was I hit that double feature up where I was just like, oh my god damn, the darkness is still near me. It's still near me. I
let it take over. It'll win.
Oh, it's gonna for sure. But it also unlocked a new kink in me that I'm not proud of, but that's just no, I'm kidding.
That's called shadow work. You have to learn to embrace those things instead of trying to hide them.
Right. But yeah, no, it was certainly something. What are your thoughts from having seen it 10 years ago and then rewatching it now? Okay.
When I first watched this movie, I think I was just kind of like mesmerized because this was at like the peak of me being the pretentious film nerd wannabe that I was trying to be, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, whoa, man, there's this movie nobody else has heard of, and it's called Deadgirl, and like the studios didn't make it. It's an indie movie, bro. So I think I was kind of like enamored with that the first time I was watching it, right? And really wasn't thinking critically when I was watching it. I was just like, whoa.
Wow, yeah, these guys fucking did this part.
They did this part. And
which credit to them, that's a great part to did.
It is a great part that did. I brought this movie up for a reason because it has stuck with me all these years. I have never seen anything quite like it. And I feel like it is an insanely original take on zombies.
Yeah.
Or I guess zombie in this sense, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is an angle that I've for sure not seen before.
Rewatching it now, there are some things that I just feel like I need to point out that I cannot let slide.
Yeah, there's a couple.
You remember how, like, with Night and Dawn, we were talking about how, like, the dialogue is so good and so naturally performed that it feels like it was improvised the entire time?
Yeah. This one had similar effects, yeah.
No, it didn't. This one... This was felt by, like, it was written by a guy who has never had friends.
Or sex, by that matter, because you gotta find a zombie.
Yes.
And then fuck it. That's...
I mean, come on. Who in this day and age isn't saving it for marriage, right?
I mean, it is the new thing to do. Millennials are such sluts that Gen Z is all, let's put it in the pants.
And let's get really uncomfortable when sex scenes come up, which we're going to talk about in depth, by the way. I want to have a real convo with you on that one, okay?
Yeah.
But I noticed from the first line that the performances in this were not the best.
Yeah.
And to the actor's credit there, they were having to really bleed that stone dry when it came to the script, especially like the opening scenes before it gets to the discovery of the zombie girl.
Yeah.
Because it straight up was just like, hey, bro, how you doing, buddy? How's my best friend JT doing? You know, we were friends in 3rd grade, and there's that girl I have a crush on and have always had a crush on. Anyways,
the most simplistic,
hey, do you want to go hang out at this abandoned asylum and drink 1 beer? Oh, bro, I love drinking 1 beer.
We're going to get so smashed at this abandoned asylum. Let's fucking skip school. Let's get out of here.
We're going to go skip school. Isn't it so cool to do that? And we smoke cigarettes. Whoa.
Ooh, what? That just makes no sense at all. Like, ugh. Yeah,
but you get what I mean, right? Of like, it was a little rough to get through. I also noticed that this movie is really slow, and it didn't need to be.
Yeah. I
am a fan of slow burn films when they're not fucking boring.
Yeah.
Because like I've watched like a lot of really like surreal horror films that are like just at a snail's pace, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time, they're so mesmerizing. There's this one movie that came out last year, Einsman, I think is how it's pronounced. That movie legit made me feel like I had schizophrenia. And it is just like the slowest movie I have ever seen. Nothing happens throughout most of it. And at the same time, I feel like I'm going completely fucking insane.
That's high praise. That really is high praise.
Whereas this movie is like, okay, we got to get a shot of them riding bikes. And then we gotta get a shot of them walking in the field. And then you know what? What if we get a shot where they're just kind of like, yeah, man, high school, we hate it. It starts off like every indie movie from the early 2000s of like, we're just some kids from this go nowhere, do nothing town. It sure is boring around here.
Yeah. Just all the small things.
And we're going to get copyright claim for singing that.
Yeah, well, good thing I have a lower voice than he does. That is a
good thing.
Yeah, no, that's that was a big negative on the movie too, because it's like, honestly, if this just had the same tone as like Scary Movie 2 or the superhero movie or just any of those like just outrageous stupid comedies. I mean, not just because I also like those movies a little bit more, but like because the plot and everything is so just there.
Absurd.
Yeah. That, like, to me, it should have been like a side quest in Scary Movie 5 or whatever. Like, that's what I would have liked to see it on. But yeah, the slow burn was no help whatsoever.
It's not just like the slow burn is a negative on there. I feel like it's very hard to justify the movie's pace. Because there's so much, especially in the beginning, I feel like you could just remove and it would be fine. It could go from them on the bikes going like, let's go skip school, and like maybe 180R line where they're like, let's go to the asylum to drink. And then it gets that shot where the door gets kicked in, right?
Yeah. And then, boom, we save 15 minutes now.
Exactly. Pretty much, yeah. But where was I going with this? It's just hard to justify the film's pace and why it's so slow, because it feels like it's not doing it for storytelling's sake. It feels like it's doing it to pad the runtime.
Definitely. And they really didn't need to. They really that's fine. This would have worked out great as you could do a little 45-minute or something like that, 1 hour. I'm fine with that. Get the point across. Like
Well, but it did have a very interesting hook and premise that I felt like you can tell that this was a very low budget movie.
Yeah.
And like with the tools that they had and with locations and everything, I feel like they were able to pull it off decently enough.
Yeah. I mean, no shade on the actual like product of the film. I like obviously through my story, I was a little more jaded because it was like, oh, cool, second dark, crazy fucking movie I watch in a row right now. And it's
fantastic. Like, welcome to my everyday life.
Right, dude. Right. I don't know how you do it, but that's why we do this. Slowly turn me into a serial killer. That's
not a serial killer, just a necrophiliac.
Oh yeah, much better. Like. But yeah, I mean, it for sure was an unseen take on zombies before, and like I did. Kids are just that stupid. Like I can see the realism in the whole thing, and I can also put myself in a fucking teenage mindset and go like, yeah, you would fuck anything back then for sure. So like that does make sense, but.
I feel like if it came out like a few years later too, like at the height of like the whole incel movement,
yeah,
it probably would have been championed as like some sort of like commentary on that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it was before that was even really a thing, and it's hard not to think of it now with that kind of context in it. Because like the two main characters, JT and other guy's name that I totally remember.
Is it JT and Johnny?
I think so. Johnny is our main character. He's somewhat likable, and JT is the fucking weirdo freak dude, right?
Yeah.
There's no way that they're not based off of Eric Harris and whoever the fuck the other school shooter was from Columbine.
Yeah.
And they even have like the same just straight up creepy vibes. Like JT starts off as a fucking weirdo creep and just gets worse and worse as that movie goes on.
Definitely. Yeah. It just...
So in a way, it is a little bit ahead of its time, making a commentary about how the weirdo dudes out there that are way too alone and in their own head have very unhealthy ways of unleashing these feelings.
It's also a commentary on just how hard women always have it, because this one is a fucking zombie and she still can't catch a break from being harassed.
This lady can't catch a break no matter what. Yeah.
No, it's just it's just she went on to the other side of the afterlife and still has all these fucking teenagers just going ham at her. And it looks like the shop had been closed down for a while, so who knows how long they've been laying there, dude.
For those unaware, the premise of this film is two teenagers break into an abandoned mental asylum, and in the basement they find a zombie, a naked lady zombie chained to a bed. Well, to the metal morgue table thing.
Yeah.
And one teenager goes, "We need to call the police. This is fucking weird as hell." And the other teenager goes, "Free pussy, my dude. Let's get it."
Yeah, because why not? Here's just this monster that might as well fuck it, because we're totally caveman.
We'll take anything at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Go
I don't
ahead,
know.
collect your thoughts.
Yeah. I don't know. Just thinking through and just having like the hilarious jock characters and everything just like be tossed on to this really is like a high school zombie fucked up, like almost feels like a what was that 80s movie Heathers in a way where
A little
like
bit, yeah.
yeah, but I wanted it to have more of the comedic tone that Heathers had. I think that's all that I was
There
missing.
ain't
But
nothing to laugh about in this movie, man. It's
No.
all just depravity and darkness.
yeah, without a doubt, dude. That's friends killing friends, because why the fuck not? Like,
Why not?
yeah. But yeah, I'll let you continue.
Give me 1 second to lube up my voice here.
Oh yeah, no worries.
My other critique right off the bat for this film is whoever the casting director was has never seen a teenager in their life.
Yeah,
Everybody in this movie is very obviously 35 and older, trying to
Dude.
play high school kids.
yeah. Because all the actual high schoolers already work for Disney. Like, they're like,
Very
oh,
true, yeah. You imagine
yeah.
Zac Efron, that like at the height of his child acting phase, just being in this.
Dude, oh my God! Not in the height of his child acting phase, but I would have liked him as that Texas dude, the big wrestler. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Where's that crossover where we have him in wrestling shape fighting off zombies?
There is a terrible zombie movie. I forget what it's called, but it has all of the completely washed up WWE guys
No, yeah.
that were like famous like decades ago having to fight zombies.
Sick. Does it have? Is this one with Hulkamania? What's this called?
I know that Matt Hardy and I think Kurt Angle's in it, and I have no idea what it's called, and it's terrible. It looks like it was filmed on an iPhone by a third grader.
Oh, it's on Tubi now for free. It's called Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies.
How did they come up with that title?
That's fucking hilarious, dude. Oh my God. And if you look at the cover on IMDb, it definitely has the exact same graphic engineer as a porno. There's even two people kissing on it.
Speaking of, I think it's Jenna Jameson, probably a different porn star that I'm thinking of, but there is a movie called Zombie Strippers
Oh, really?
where a famous porn star it plays a stripper, and then all of her coworkers turn into zombies,
Sick.
and they have to fight them off. And it is actually way better than Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, strippers a lot of the time are better than pro wrestlers, but not to hang out with. I would rather hang out with pro wrestlers.
It's basically the same theater, you know what I mean?
It's definitely true.
The stripper pretends to like you, the wrestlers are pretending to fight.
Yeah. It's like man ballet. But no, I do love it. I've been finding myself getting more and more into it as I get older, which is weird because I feel like I was supposed to get into it as a kid.
Strippers?
Oh, no. No, not quite. I wish.
I love pro wrestling, and I always will.
Yeah. I'm
Strippers. Shouts
I'm just
out
getting
strippers.
into it. Shouts out to, what is it?
Get the bag, girl.
Yeah. Raw is moving to Netflix, so now I'm going to catch it all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so fucking here we go. But I digress from talking about this fantastic piece of cinema, Deadgirl, and the fact that it is a girl that is dead.
She's very dead. I
Super dead.
love that they never explain where she came from, why she's in the basement, why she's a zombie.
No,
It's just accepted.
Yeah.
And that is the best way, I think, to handle that.
Oh, for sure. And it's a complete opposite of the Return of the Living Dead, where they have ample backstory to get you on. They're just like, nope. You find this girl with rabies, like
And she's just there.
yeah. Definitely unenjoyable themes throughout, you know. I think it's just hard to go about and watch something like that, even though, like, it's one of those movies that's like, yeah, it had to be independent because there's no studio that's going to greenlight that, you know? Or at least I hope not, but also fuck the studio, so I don't know. So, but yeah,
It sounds like this movie had some sort of effect on you and it made you feel something, even though that feeling might be a little uncomfortable. I want to talk about that some more.
Yeah, no, the feeling was garbage. The feeling was was like, oh my god, why am I doing this? And I need to jump immediately to fucking what was it? It was either Arrested Development or Modern Family or something like that. I was
You
like,
heard of that Tacoma show that you like?
yeah, now finish that one. Great,
All
can't
right.
wait till season 5. That's it. Yeah, literally. But dude, yeah, it definitely. It's probably going to have a stick with me for a while effect with it. I'm not going to lie. And it definitely is just one of those, like, I don't know, one of those self-checks, you know, where I'm just like, oh, okay, no, I know this moment and I'll keep on walking forward. Like,
Did you enjoy the movie?
I mean, I get,
There's part of me, sorry to interrupt, right?
Yeah,
because
go
I want to
ahead.
relate to you. There's part of me, I feel like I appreciate the movie more for what it is than the actual content of the film.
that is fair. For me, it was harder to separate, although, like, I definitely, it definitely wasn't all just that. Like, it was shot decently, and there was some fun, like, I don't like it. It didn't write off like a bad, poor, like, oh, this is just someone phoning it in, or even like comedically phoning it in, like just like one of those cheesy '80s movies or something like that. But yeah, it was definitely harder to separate, and maybe just watching the 2 bummer movies in a row definitely had a
Soured your mood a little bit.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I definitely don't disregard it in the fact that, like, this obviously people cared about making this and wanted to get a story across and put a real effort into making it independently, and like all that's really, really good. But yeah, it was a harder one to totally sell to, especially when I don't know, I was just waiting for like even just some type of good ending, and having the ending be nope. Just
It is downer after downer after downer.
dude, and
But welcome
just,
to the real world, pal. Happy things don't happen here, okay?
yeah,
It's called real life.
that's for sure. Yeah, so yeah, it was rough, but I mean, so the first time you watched it, you were enamored at the independent, and then coming back and then seeing the film from a more mature mature, yeah, been following your dreams for that whole decade consistently, so now you've seen thousands of movies, probably more than that.
Yeah.
Where does this like come back to? Did it live up to your mind, or
Not even close, to be honest. Yeah. I don't want to just shit on it the whole time, because I feel like at the end of the day, there's still parts of this that I do really like. I think that it has a lot to say when it comes to male sexuality, and how, if not, I don't want to say in check, but if there's no real healthy sexual outlet and nobody to help them kind of guide them through the feelings that they're having, right? It can come out in very horrible, toxic ways. And I don't know if it was like intentional for that film to say something like that, but that was definitely my takeaway on it.
I mean, there was nothing that any of the dudes in this movie were doing that I thought was like, oh, no one would do that. That's impossible. Like, everyone
For a
went
split
to high
second
school.
there, I thought you were going to say, yeah, there's nothing that they did in this that was wrong.
Oh yeah, no,
I was like, no, Jimmy, no.
But we all. I mean, if you went to a big enough high school, then we all knew someone that we thought of when we saw someone in the thing. Maybe not. I mean, obviously not like no one in our high school that fucked a zombie, but like.
But they definitely went to a farm brothel over weekends.
Right, exactly. And it's just one of those things where the kid that's just a little weird in the back that has some stairs on him, it's like, oh yeah, this guy would be the one wrapped up in this kerfuffle, if you will.
Because I got the feeling that like those two kids would somehow take a lot of the negative emotions that they're going through and express it using violence. If it wasn't for the fact that they found this girl that they could take their violence out on.
Yeah,
Because
totally
we're
true.
joking about how like they're fucking the zombie, they're having sex with it. It's not sex, it's rape. They're raping that creature.
Yeah.
There's no way that thing can consent to anything that's been happening to her. That's even like hinted at the very end, when the only character who didn't rape her is the one that basically just doesn't get eaten by her.
Yeah. Which is a good message for all the kids to not have sex, because if you have sex, you're going to get eaten by the pussy.
Exactly.
And that is somewhat true.
That is definitely the message that the filmmakers wanted to give you, by the way, too, for real.
Yeah, for sure. Watch out. Don't fuck broads, fuck your bros. That's what.
There is like some very unintentional gay chemistry between the two main characters.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And like, definitely not intentional from the director's perspective. But the way that, like, especially at the beginning when the two main characters are looking at each other, all of their problems and everything in this movie would have been solved. They've just fucked.
Exactly. Everything would have just moved by if it was like, wow, JT, wow, Johnny, what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's play How Many Sucks?
I'm thinking you.
Like, yeah, like, and they're both guys. It's awesome. Just fucking suck each other's dicks. It's awesome. Like,
but to go back to my original point of rewatching it now and like my takeaways and everything, I feel like this movie is more of a series of events than it is a real story.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because that's another thing that makes this movie feel way longer than it actually is that there's no real guidance going on. There's no real, well, we found this girl. Now what do we do? What's going to happen plot-wise to move it forward?
There's
just
definitely no planning.
Yeah. It's just kind of a series of events of this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. The end.
You could say it's a series of unfortunate events.
I would say the events in this movie are extremely unfortunate.
Definitely. Mainly for a couple of dudes, though. Not that. No.
And the girl on the table.
Obviously, yeah.
And the girl that gets hit in the head with the tire iron, and the other girl that gets brutally murdered at the end.
Yeah, which, you know.
And the guy who gets his dick bit and then shits out his insides.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you fuck a zombie. I'm surprised that zombie-isms isn't like sexually transmitted, because if you're just biting someone and they turn into a zombie, I would imagine that, you know, all the stuff down below would have the same effect, you know?
Obviously not. I mean, the skin doesn't break when you're...
I don't think any of them are wearing condoms.
Definitely not.
No, like, you don't want that. That's like, ugh.
I feel bad for the actress, too. That must have been such a hard sell.
Yeah.
Can you imagine her agent calling her and being like, okay, well, there's this movie made by some dude in fucking Topeka, Kansas somewhere. I don't know. And you're going to play this character who's going to be naked the entire time, strapped to a very cold table and fucked in multiple positions on camera.
Dude. And looking her up, she has... I mean, that was her first movie. God damn.
I would not be surprised if she's like, you know what? Maybe I should work at a car wash.
Maybe I don't want to.
I could have a good career just washing cars. And it would be like $12 an hour, but you know what? It's way better, actually, than being naked, strapped to this fucking table and caked in makeup, feeling gross, grimy, and disgusting.
Yeah.
It probably paid way more.
Yeah, it turns out much better existence. Like much, much, much better existence. And
wherever you are, zombie who was in this one, that's just the good Lord bless you. I hope you're doing great.
Yeah. Her last movie was in 3 years ago or something. 4 years ago. But yeah, hope you're doing great. Jenny Spain. Crazy.
I was Jenny Spain in this movie, but the S was silent.
Jenny Payne. Yeah. Nuts movie. I will say, and the Deadgirl, not exactly a upper either. So that's
That
Have you
doesn't
seen?
sound like a nice movie. No, I have not seen it, but I'm sure it's pretty terrible. I am going to go see Cemetery Man in theaters next week, which is also a pretty original take on zombies. But we're not going to talk about it on the podcast because it's not
Horror
as cool
comedy
as
from-
Pontypool.
Not as cool as Pontypool. I am excited for Pontypool. Probably won't confuse that one with anyone else. Like,
Definitely not.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. We're also very dumb. The main character in this movie is named Ricky,
Oh, right.
not Johnny. And it turns out he was in the Evil Dead remake. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is kind of neat. This. All right. I just read the description for Cemetery Man. We might have to watch this too. That sounds like tons of fun.
All right. We're gonna save that for after Pontypool. I'm gonna add that. And we'll even add it to the contest of most original take on zombies, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Right on.
Because I'm gonna see it next week in theaters anyway, so that'll be fun.
Oh, sick. Yeah. Yeah. That'll be a blast. This looks like the Evil Dead, but even funnier.
To an extent, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So you ever like see a movie as a kid and then later on you find it again and you're like, oh man, can't wait to watch it, and it's just a little disappointing?
Yeah.
That's how I feel with Deadgirl. Watching it again, there's just like some few things that when added together make it a little hard to watch. Not unwatchable, not a bad movie. I feel like this is something I could suggest to. Can you put your fucking phone on silent? I feel like this is something that I could suggest to horror friends and be like, hey, you want to watch something kind of fucked up? You should definitely check out this movie.
Definitely. Yeah, if anyone ever wants a fucked up one, I will definitely resort to this one pretty early. Pretty
Buddy,
early.
when it comes to fucked up horror, this is like, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. It is the Titanic walking past the iceberg.
Oh, god damn
We
it,
ain't
dude.
even close to how fucked up movies can get, okay?
All right, here we go.
But my last little, I guess, observation, I won't even really call it a complaint, right?
Okay.
I feel like the effects, they probably had like $10 to pull off all the effects, and they just saved it for the very end.
Oh.
Because we have like that brief flash frame of the guy who shits his guts out, right?
Yeah.
And that's like midway through the movie. And then at the very, very end, our main character, Ricky, he's had a crush on this girl since like middle school or elementary school, actually. And when his psychotic friend JT realizes that they can make more dead girls, kidnaps the crush. And the climax is back in that abandoned asylum where he's trying to rescue this girl that he likes, right? That is the bloodiest part of the movie. That's where they're like, okay, we have $9.50 left after that guts effect. Let's use it all right here.
Yeah. That's right here. I mean, at least they saved it for the Big Bang.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely not much. What is the budget? Do we have it? I'll look it up.
I'm going to say this is a micro budget. I would not be shocked if this was less than 100,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we just couldn't even find the budget because of that too. Because it's not looking. I don't think that this had a. Did this have a theater release date?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't have the budget listed here, and yeah. Well, so yeah, I would not be surprised if it was in the 5 digits even. Definitely in the 5 digits.
Yeah, definitely in the 5 digits. Nobody in the movie actually got paid.
No. It's all
Nobody who worked on it didn't get paid. The guy who directed it definitely did not get paid.
No. Oh my gosh. And if you look at what IMDb says you would like if you like this movie, it is insane gore and craziness. A bunch of titles I've never even heard of. But one of them is a Serbian film. Have heard of that. And one of them is Maniac, which that's tight. Did like Maniac. So
I promise
guess...
you we're not watching a Serbian film, okay?
Okay, cool. Yeah. But there is a movie called Necromantic.
Yeah, Germany. We talked about that last podcast.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's fucking... God, Germans are so weird.
Those Germans.
I'll say that to the Germans' face, Dick. To the Germans' face, all right? This is... You Germans, great cars. Everything else? Like, no. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, feelings, emotions on this movie?
I mean, it was it was a ride and a half.
I love that like you sound just so fucking miserable trying to talk about it, but you haven't said that you just don't like it yet.
No, it's not that Yeah, it's like, I don't know. There's enough people that worked on it to where like I'm not gonna be like, yeah, fuck this, because this will definitely titillate some people to be like, yeah, they like the people that are into fucked up horror will definitely be into this. And, you know, I don't want to take anything away from it, but it was just watching the whole thing. For me, it was just like, it was a cool exercise to see how far like certain boundaries can be pushed, especially with the budget that they had. And like, it was a clear idea that landed, but it's still at just like, at the end of it, I was just like, God damn, I feel so dirty. Like, which again, this is all good in the sense of it's a movie that got a reaction out of me. So that's another reason why I can't be like, no, it's boring, I didn't like it, because like I'm still thinking about it. So on that, like it definitely qualifies more. But would I recommend it to anyone? A few of my friends that are into fucked up things that I'd be like, oh, if you haven't seen this, yeah, check this out, dog. Like that's yeah. But fucking
so
nuts.
I think one of the reasons why this movie is a little uncomfortable to get through is its blend of horror and sex, and how
Right.
it also blends sex and violence. Are you a Zoomer? Do you technically count as a Zoomer?
I don't know. Let me see. Millennial cutoff years. If I was born between 1981 and 1996, yeah, I am at the very last year of the millennial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to pretend to be a Zoomer for the rest of the podcast, okay?
All right, I'll be 1 year younger.
Are you, do sex scenes in movies and TV make you uncomfortable?
Opposite. I whip up my phone immediately and hit pause in the movie.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. But no, I mean, going back to the first sex scene that I watched in a movie was uncomfortably the first Terminator that I ended up watching with my mom, which was fucking hilarious. But that was the most uncomfortable I've ever been in a sex scene. But past that, nah, sex scenes in movies, like, sometimes they just kind of mean nothing. But other times it's like, well, we wouldn't have gotten the, like, solidification without, I mean, maybe not seeing everything, but, like, I still think that at least stuff that's implied is necessary enough.
You remember Old Boy?
Yeah.
How different would that movie be if the sex scene was just cut out of it?
Super. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I hate that argument of like, oh, it's always pointless showing sex scenes. Why don't they just like fade away? Or like you just show like the clothes on the floor and then you fade away, right?
Yeah, which is like, I don't know, dude. That's...
Can you imagine this movie with all the sex scenes just removed?
It would be quite the boring movie.
It would be quite the boring movie, yeah.
Yeah,
but the runtime would be a little bit lower, so that's good, right?
Right. So that works. No, and especially for Old Boy, I mean, like, this sounds very crass, but it's just true in the sense that the weight and the passion of the sex scene wouldn't have the same weight at the end of the movie that we would like feel, you know
Exactly,
what I mean?
yeah.
And so because of that, that's a really good example. I mean, sure, even down to a simple stupid Dane Cook movie of what's that one where the whole beginning is a montage of like him just sleeping with different topless women and everything. You know, they probably had more than just their tops off, but that's all we saw. And but even in a stupid Dane Cook comedy like that scene was still necessary enough in the sense of like if you wanted to see just how much of a fucking dog he was, then that is there for a reason. If that wasn't in the intro, you wouldn't have given him the I don't know, the same views of like, oh, can you really work yourself out of this, and are you really that much of a player? Like it seems excessive, but in the grand scheme of things, it is absolutely necessary.
It's like necessary context for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I don't get what Gen C's on about, but
you fucking young kids with your not wanting to see titties.
I know these weird fucking changing the way I say people's names. I
100% blame this on the housing crisis.
All right, I'm listening.
Because most of these people, most of these Gen Zers still live with their parents.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I'm sure it makes them pretty uncomfortable with some big titties and a giant donkey dick is on screen.
That's true. That's
and
true.
now they're like grabbing the remote like, oh, what if mom sees me? Oh, I gotta turn it right off right away.
Dude, not only is that so true, but also blaming the housing crisis. People can afford less in their homes, and if their parents have a loving relationship, then you have to listen to them fuck. And then now you don't even want to be reminded of fucking because it's all like... What?
And most of Gen Z hate their lives. And because fucking is the reason why they're alive, if they're reminded of that, it makes them even more miserable.
That's true. I can't have sex because I might have a kid who's going to be more miserable than me. Like,
that is one of my deepest fears.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, everyone looks down and go like, man, I've been thinking a lot about having kids lately, and it is funny because I just kind of have to like just think like, all right, I'm gonna fuck it up in some way, but what are the ways that I can like make sure that they're not fucked up in at least this way? You know, they're gonna be fucked up in some, like they're gonna hate you for some reason or another. But like, what's
you gotta
at least
raise
that one
your
thing
kid in a way to make sure that when they find a zombie chained in a basement somewhere, they're the ones saying we should call the cops, not the ones unzipping their pants going free pussy, bro.
Yes. You cannot raise a free pussy bro. All right.
You can't raise a free pussy, bro.
No. They have to be slowly worked out of society. All right. Sorry. You guys were awesome in the 80s. You fucking ruled. Burt Reynolds, #1. But now this is it. Like, we got to stop it.
We got to stop it early.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just like our opinion, man. Like,
well, anything else you want to talk about when it comes to this movie?
no, my hot take is I think they should start showing this in high schools for sex ed, though.
This is what will happen to you if you have premarital sex once.
Yeah. And also, as a nice little warning to ladies to be like, this is what men are like most.
This is legitimately what men are like. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, hey, Jimmy's daughter, you just turned 16. Let's watch a movie with me. Like,
no, you got to warn her early. You got to show that movie when she's 12.
I mean,
and
that
like,
is
you see how they're doing that to a living corpse? Now imagine if that's you passed out at a party.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
And like, I'm not saying that as a joke. That's like true. So like,
I know. And especially because I want to raise kids in small towns, there's going to be way more of those parties. So, yeah.
And farm brothels too.
Right. Mind your P's and Q's and get into cocaine because it helps you not black out.
Exactly. Yeah. And raise our boys to not be like that.
Yeah. I mean, I smoke way too much weed to have my sperms produce men, but that's... But we'll see, dude. Maybe.
And I'm an incel, so I'm never going to have kids.
I don't know. You might have a zombie baby out there somewhere.
Never again. It'll, I bring girls over and then I'm like, hey, you want to watch this cool movie called Deadgirl? And then they leave.
I actually have to go, okay? This is it.
Oh my God. Like, wow. Look at the time.
You're just drilling beside them. Like, what? Like,
I don't have Netflix. I have Blu-rays. Let's watch this cool movie called Deadgirl. And then they're like, oh.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
I just remembered my brother died. I have to go.
I just got this call. It's tragic. I'm working up tears right now. I gotta.
Mom? You're in the hospital 2 towns over? I gotta go. Oh my goodness gracious. I gotta go. See ya.
All right, tell your mom I said hi. Why, what's wrong with her? I mean, yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah, I'll definitely talk to you soon. As she's like blocking my number on everything.
Right. Oh, but that's all right. Well, we already spoiled the next one, but is there any pointers you want to show me on this mighty Pontypool?
Go into it not knowing anything and just let the movie take you.
All right, we can do that.
I haven't seen this one in forever. Off the top of my head, I want to say there's no zombie fucking, but I could be wrong.
I mean, it's looking strong like that, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean,
it should still be on Netflix, and if not, we'll find a way.
We will find a way.
I couldn't find Deadgirl anywhere, by the way. Where did you watch it on? I
was on Amazon because they have the AMC thing, so I got a trial for the AMC thing. And so it looks like I can do this for Pontypool as well, kind of put under the radar. But it's like, thanks for having it on AMC, but also fucking another one, really? Another fucking subscription? But
I couldn't find it streaming anywhere, so I acquired it on the internet. But rewatching it again and it having like there is some nostalgia on my end for this, so I did end up getting a Blu-ray of the movie as well.
Oh, nice. Right on.
So I actually supported the movie coming out, not just if anything, I just pre-ordered a backup copy of the Blu-ray that's on the way.
Nice. Yeah. So so there is a Blu-ray release. That's actually pretty dope.
Yep.
Good for them. How hard is it to get a Blu-ray release?
You'd have to ask them.
Yeah, I feel like that's something you should have by now. Yeah, the Joseph Wilkie Blu-ray.
Well, I have to make a movie first.
Nah, that's no. Just read your comic and slowly pan over everything, and then format it to 4K.
Yeah, that would be so fun to watch. Definitely.
Yeah. You got this. Yeah. Oh man. But all right, going into Pontypool knowing nothing. I'll do that.
Pontypool, and then after that, Cemetery Man.
Cemetery Man, yeah.
And then after that.
After that?
Have you ever seen Dead Alive?
No.
Peter Jackson?
Oh, I did read about this. Is this... Okay, yeah, Peter Jackson, Dead Alive, original title, Brain Dead. Okay, yeah. I was reading an article on Deadgirl, and they referenced this, but I have not seen this yet, no.
Okay, I'm the teacher. I can make the curriculum as I go along. So after Cemetery Man, we'll watch Dead Alive, because that's a very fun, very stupid zombie movie.
Okay, cool.
That will make for an excellent palate cleanser after all of these very slow, horrible, depressing movies we've been watching.
Yeah, right on.
But after we wrap that up, I do want to have like a full-on dedicated discussion episode just from the Pontypool, Deadgirl, and Maggie, where we're talking about which one we feel like is the most original concept when it comes to the zombie genre.
I like that.
Because I hope that the one takeaway from this so far is that you can do way more with zombies than just, oh no, an undead horde is at the front door. We have to go somewhere.
Absolutely. And I was never this versed in all the zombie films until now, and I for sure have different thoughts from even when I went in until now versus in the future. And that's just from like competing with classics and watching a couple. So exciting, dude. Exactly.
Well, thank you for watching and sticking all the way to the end. YouTube hates horror content, so the fact that you found our channel, let alone watch the entire thing, is nothing short of a miracle.
10 out of 10.
We love you. You are the best. If you had a comment section, we would leave comments about how you're a lovely person.
Absolutely. 10 out of 10, Janet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet. You know what? I don't care what anybody at the office says. That lemon cake that you baked was delicious, okay?
Top tier.
Top
all right.
tier.
The most moist lemons I've ever put in my mouth.
Besides the lemon tree in my backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, be sure to leave a comment.
Thank you.
Give us engagement. Please watch. I'm going to make like a whole bunch of clips from every single episode to get some more traction going.
That's cool. Thank you for putting the time into that.
Of course. Somebody has to.
Yeah, it's true.
Just kidding.
Let me know if you need another song. That's
You got it.
Actually, if you want me to whip up a intermission thing real quick for this episode, and we can just have it for some things, I feel like that could be pretty funny too.
I already have an intermission song where, because I'm fucking lazy, I just slow down the one that you gave me.
Oh, fuck yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That works.
So we will be back next week. We're going to be going over Pontypool, and we're going to have a discussion on this. I really like what we're doing, where we just kind of shoot the shit for like the first hour and then go into the movie. This is fun.
Yeah, I definitely like that too.
So until we meet again, take care and stay spooky, my friends.
Peace.
See ya.
You survived another episode of Spooky School. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe for weekly content, and leave a review if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Check out our Patreon page for extra content too hot for YouTube. Until we meet again, take care and stay spooky.